Climate report, scientists politely urge act now, idiots, it's the final call, say scientists, the most extensive warning yet on the risks of rising global temperatures.
Here's a summary of the article.
Their dramatic report on keeping that rise under 1.5 degrees Celsius states that the world is now completely off track, heading instead towards 3°C. Staying below 1.5°C will require rapid, far-reaching and unprecedented changes in all aspects of society. After 3 years of research and a week of haggling between scientists and government officials at a meeting in South Korea, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has issued a special report on the impacts of global warming of 1.5°C. The critical 33-page summary for policymakers certainly bears the hallmarks of difficult negotiations between climate researchers determined to stick to what their studies have shown and political representatives more concerned with economies and living standards. The first is that limiting warming to 1.5°C brings a lot of benefits compared with limiting it to 2 degrees. It really reduces the impacts of climate change in very important ways, said Professor Jim Ski, who is a co-chair of the IPCC. The second is the unprecedented nature of the changes that are required if we are to limit warming to 1.5°C, changes to energy systems, changes to the way we manage land, changes to the way we move around with transportation. The report says that to limit warming to 1.5°C, it will involve annual average investment needs in the energy system of around $2.4 trillion between 2016 and 2035. The report says that hard decisions can no longer be kicked down the road. If the nations of the world don't act soon, they will have to rely even more on unproven technologies to take carbon out of the air, an expensive and uncertain road. They really need to start work immediately. The report is clear that if governments just fulfill the pledges they made in the Paris Agreement for 2030, it is not good enough. It will make it very difficult to consider global warming of 1.5°C, said Professor Jim Ski. If they read the report and decide to increase their ambitions and act more immediately, then 1.5°C stays within reach. That's the nature of the choice they face. The report says that there must be rapid and significant changes in 4 big global systems: energy, land use, cities and industry.
This post received a score of 24,707, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Bloomberg probably has the best idea with the risky business report. Start working with finance analysts on climate change. We're getting to the point where we can predict the effects on property values, agriculture, etc. and invest accordingly. People don't need to believe in climate change. Their bankers do. And then their politicians do.
And insurance does too. We are starting to see way more severe flooding and wind damage on coasts. Already affecting pricing and who we insure.
Speaking of which, I'm currently under both severe flooding and flash flooding warning. Up to 20 feet possible. I live in Kansas.
Man, I need to stop looking at the news right before I go to sleep.
Right?
The real problem that everyone seems to be completely unaware of is that most people just don't give a shit if the world burns down in 100 years.
I love the polite urging of, act now, idiots. Unfortunately, there are a lot of ignorant people in this world, and even more unfortunately, a lot of those people are in positions of power.
Excuse me, morons, sorry to interrupt your stupidity, but could you act now, idiots? Please and thank you.
Pardon me, Neanderthals, but could you start not being ignoramuses?
Well, America is doing something about it, gutting the EPA, relaxing fuel economy regulations, hindering renewable energy while propping up the coal industry, and today Trump lifted restrictions on offshore drilling. Oh, you meant we should do something positive. Sorry, our bad. Ha ha, the EPA's rationale for the decisions is that we'll have 7 degrees of warming by 2100 anyway, or about 4 Celsius. Their whole idea is, anything goes, we're fucked.
Oh fuck me, how are we supposed to stop this shit? Nobody wants to do anything about it. Fuck dude, we all live on the same planet, why don't our politicians act like it? Edit, why is this my top comment?
They're going to die earlier than you, so they DGAF.
The ones that are going to live are also going to live longer than you. They have the money and influence for compounds and shit. Starving and suffering is for poor people.
They better be able to afford completely loyal private armies, too. Starving people with starving families ain't nothing to fuck with.
They can and already have M, and not just the PMCs. The taxpayer-funded police departments aren't there for the poor folks, they are there for the rich.
The completely loyal part is essential, however. If their families are starving, do you really think they'll defend these people to the death?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smry.com, without any human intervention.